Love Talk with the Amish Matchmakers, Men's Edition. Carlos here, and I'm proud to be your host this morning, where we will be talking about love. We help Amish singles to find godly spouses. Yep. And, you know, help you create epic marriages, design it, create it, develop it, and then a legacy doesn't stop there. A legacy that is rooted in faith, freedom, and above all else, love. So today we are back in the office here and little pictures. Check that out. This is just, I made this, I think, 3 years ago. A few of the pictures of people that we have helped. It's fun. We love what we do. It's my little board of memories, and yeah, it's so cool. Love, love, love the people that we serve, and super grateful for opportunity to serve. And we are expanding what we do. We have multiple companies, and new company we just purchased is called Nesbitt Repairs, and it is a service provider. They repair. We repair. Oh man, I just spilled coffee. That's hot. Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. So, anyways, we repair, do plumbing, electrical repairs, licensed and insured in Morgan County, but Georgia, and serving the Madison area, the town of Madison. So, but hey, as you jump on, say hello. Love to hear from you and see who's out there today. It is a great day. Why? Because you're here, and we're attacking this day together. What a great day it is indeed. And so glad that you chose to join me this morning. Uh, I slept in yesterday, or I should say I overslept. I didn't set my alarm. Uh, yeah, so funny. And I woke up to Chantel's alarm, my wife's alarm, and I had slept like a rock. Woo! Wow, was I out for the count. Oh, this isn't even using my AirPods. Okay, let me take my AirPods out then, should I? Wonder how good that would sound with my AirPods. I did. I slept like a rock, man. It was pretty amazing. I guess I needed it. About an hour or so extra sleep. But anyways, grateful you're here this morning. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for your shout out. Look at that. Different ones saying hello and good morning. Thank you. I'll show your great comments out there. Lester, good morning. And some of you, I don't know who you are because there's screen names on YouTube. Good morning. Hey, what's up? Minnesota in the house. All right. Good job. Good job. Thanks for telling me where you're from. That's cool. And yeah, grateful for you coming here where we are going to talk about love. We talk about love and how to find it, keep it, make it epic. And in all areas of life, I think love is the key. I really do. And so today, but to carry on a little bit more about what's happening with us as Amish matchmakers, we also are investors, we're developers, and we're developing real estate. We are also, we buy businesses, we're business owners, entrepreneurs. In our latest amazing, what would you call it? Opportunity is we just purchased Nesbitt Repairs, which is out of Madison, and we will be doing a customer appreciation or client. We call it Client Appreciation Day tomorrow. Today is Thursday, so on Friday tomorrow we will be doing a Client Appreciation Day, having hot dogs and burgers and just having some fun, getting to know the community a little bit. We'll be doing that every other Friday, and then next Friday we will have a serve the community. We're calling it Love Your Neighbor Day. Love Your Neighbor Day, where we as a company will give back to the community, and we will serve widows, we will elderly, veterans, single parents, whoever is in need. We're going to donate time to them and do little projects, and they pay for the materials. We give them our time. And years ago, God had challenged me. I should say challenged, but yeah, he did. He encouraged me, loved me, and told me, hey, serve my people. And then I was like, okay, Father, how? And he said, well, actually, you would tend to give too much. And he says, I want you to give 10% of your time. Almost like a limiting way. But then I'm like, okay, well, then how about our whole crew, our whole company give? And in that time, it was definitely as a handyman type. And so we were known in California as the widow's handyman. We gave every other Friday to the widows, and we will be starting that next Friday. There is no time to waste. Let's get on it. What are we waiting for? So we're starting it right away, just like the client appreciation. And part of it is our big three for that company. Those of you that maybe attended our 12-week year session about planning and his creation code for success, which is a book that Chantel and I are writing, and a training that we do all about following the code of creation, the 7 days of creation in Genesis, in order to be successful. It's all there. It's amazing. It's a beautiful code. And so, anyways, with that said, we did that session at the beginning of this year. We did it on Saturday, January 3rd and 4th. And we planned out the next 12 weeks, even for Nesbitt Repairs. My wife, Chantel, she and I are co CEOs, but she's the main boss. I tell everyone on the crew and everyone I interview and talk to, I say, hey, have ideas and things, but she makes ultimately the decisions. Whatever she says, that overrides me. If she wants you to do something, you do that first. And that's by design, because I have other companies. We both do have other companies we're a part of and running, but I have a little more active role in other companies, and this is her main active role in this company, which is awesome. She's doing amazing. She's doing so well with the team. The team loves her. They look up to her, and she's such a great leader, such a great inspiration, and just great love and support. They know that she cares. The team does, and she pulls the best out of them, just like she does me. It's so awesome. So I'm grateful to have such a powerful and amazing wife. Shout out to my bride Chantel. And here's the challenge for that company that we are taking on. Um, it is a powerful six-figure company doing about a little over 500,000 a year in revenue. And our goal and our target is to double the revenue, double the business, be on track to double it in the next 12 weeks. Now, that doesn't mean we're going to make 1 million in the next 12 weeks. No, what it means is that we're currently in revenue do about 500,000, which is about 50, yeah, about right at about 50,000 a month in revenue, and over 2,500, probably close to 3,000 clients. In the last 2 years, there was 2,500 that were active, but over 3,000 clients overall client list. And I will tell you, just a beautiful, powerful business. About over 50 years of history between Mr. Frank Nesbitt and his dad, Mr. Nesbitt, his father, Frank's father, have had the service business in the area for that long. And so it's a legacy business. And Frank doesn't have any biological children, as a lot of people he's mentored and has discipled, if you would. He's Sunday school teacher at at the local church there in Madison, and just amazing man. Gives all the time. Really well known. Frank to the rescue. I mean, seriously. Um, and he and his wife Janet are just a power couple. So we are excited to have this opportunity. It's right in front of us. And so part of that is getting to know and getting to meet our clients. And Chantel and I talked about splitting up and going out and meeting them. Well, there's a couple of things. We're doing the day-to-day work and they're at the office. So we began interviewing and hiring people, and you're going to get to see this whole process because I also have a video guy coming in starting tomorrow. He's going to capture some of the stuff happening at Nesbitt, but he's also going to capture our story and follow us a vlog, if you would, a video log instead of a blog. They call it a vlog. And kind of almost like a documentary of us doing this. Um, I think we'll have them do some lives and then also do a live tour, but then also we're going to create a documentary out of it and put it all together in the end of the progress to see what happens, see if we can do it, see if our 12-week year really works, because typically you'd say, well, within a year we could probably, build this out and develop it and double the business. No, we're going to get on track and hustle to where by April, it's on track to do $100,000 a month in business and revenue and hustle to get that going there. And it takes a team. It doesn't happen just, it wouldn't happen with just Chantel and I. It takes a team. But part of it is getting to know our clientele. We've looked at the numbers and the people that we work with, and there's over 100 commercial clients, which means they are constantly coming back to us and constantly working with us. Sometimes monthly, often, every 6 months or so. And so, and just so our history, like I said, we were known as the Widow's Handyman in California. We had Peculiar Sanctuary LLC there, which was creating sanctuaries in homes and building and taking care of people's homes. And loving your neighbor as yourself is our mission. And so Love Your Neighbor Day will be next Friday, where we give back to widows and orphans, veterans, people in need. So just to kind of give you an overview of what we're going to be doing. And it was quite interesting. Love being in small town again, in Morgan County, serving the Morgan County with this company. And that is, if you're wondering, we live in Social Circle, Georgia. So Madison is like 15, 20 minutes to our office, a town, our neighboring town here. So it's cool too that it's not far away. If you look on a map, you can see it. It's near Lake Oconee, kind of towards Lake Oconee, and a cool town. One of the few towns that has a lot of antique homes and beautiful antique homes that didn't get destroyed. I have to look at the history of that. We'll have to capture that history, our video guide today. See if I can remember that. But it's something about the brother of the general was like the mayor of the town or something years ago. Because when there was the oh my goodness, when there was the Civil War, there we go, here in the States, and there was the battle and war against about slavery. They they went through and burned and destroyed a lot of towns and old homes, homes during that time. And in Madison, that didn't happen because one of the leaders of the military that was going through and just taking over towns and during that Civil War time. I think it was a relative or brother or something. We'll have to look up the history here. But Madison, Georgia. So cheers to Madison. I'm grateful to be a part of this process. And so, yeah, Chantel and I, as a Amish Matchmakers, yeah, we are developers and business entrepreneurs, and we do business consulting and development. We help people develop their legacy. So again, that's part of that is developing out their investment portfolios and buying and selling and developing real estate and buying and selling and developing businesses. We love it. We love what we do. So, yeah, I thought I'd share that with you because it's going to be a fun little journey together. You'll see some updates, see some videos, and see where we're starting. Like I said, we're starting at about the current revenue and business model. For the last 2 years, they have faithfully, consistently been over a half a million, right? About 500,000 or 600,000 for the year. And again, we're excited to take it to double it. And so that would mean, like I said, we'd have to get to around 80, 90,000 a month by month number 4. That would show that we're on track to develop and build out that revenue and cash flow to that level. So it's a fun challenge. 12-week year. Does it work? Well, you're going to about to see. All right, let's see. Good morning, Minnesota. Okay, not sure what that means. Some of the comments on YouTube, always YouTube. God bless you, brother. May the love of Jesus find you today. Hey, there you go. That's kind. I can post that one. I want to give you a hug. Oh, okay, thanks. God bless you. I want to give you a hug too. Somebody says, Amen, MAGA. Make America great again. Yes, we do. We do. How's it go? MAGA. But we do MAGA. Make marriage great again. That's what my wife and I do. So, all right. Thanks for jumping on here. And it has come to our attention that a lot of you will jump on here and come by and visit and see us and say hi and things, but you don't subscribe and like our channel. Our first target is, our next target, I should say, we hit 500. Woo, woo, woo. Before the new year, we hit it. And now we're working towards this year, towards 1,000 followers and subscribers on YouTube, that is. On Facebook, I think Chantel and I are almost maxed out at 5,000 on our personal Facebook pages. For so yeah, but anyways, for YouTube, we're actually excited to hit 1,000. And so please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And when we're on here going live, we do live a lot. Chantel and I, that's our main thing. Hiring this video guy to help us, organize our live and create some longs and things. We do have shorts out there. But yeah, excited to have that. There's some more highs. I'll post those. Those are cool comments. Thanks. Hi, J Bone, whoever that is. And hi, Miss Phyllis. Phyllis Elaine. Thanks for being on here. Thanks for the support. That's cool. You're up early. All right. Welcome. Do I have to be Amish? No, you don't. That's our reputation, Amish Matchmakers. We help match people up. By the way, thanks for asking that. We actually will encourage you if you want to work on getting engaged and being married. We have a group that we endorse, that we have worked with and mentored, and Jesse and Adina Kaufman. They have single to married is the goal, and it's a group on the school platform, SKOOL, school.com, single to married. If you're interested and you want to message me directly on Facebook or even on here on YouTube, I think you can. I guess I could put Jesse's on here, I think. Jesse usually gets up with me in the morning, is here supporting this love talk with the Amish Matchmakers. And actually, that's how we got our reputation, working with Jesse Kaufman. And now he has his own community, his own group that he's serving and helping them to get engaged. It is a subscription base, but it's worth it. It's got all of the content that Chantel and I have helped create and developed, and Jesse and Nadine have been a part of that as well. Go check it out. We highly recommend it. But again, Jesse could put that link in here on the chat. Yep, he's here. Thanks for being here, Jesse. So those who are single out there and you want to have some good strategies, because it does take strategies and skills. You want to know how you find love? Well, you got to learn the skills. So we don't only help Amish. That's just what we're known for. And about 80% of our clientele that we work with for matchmaking have been Amish because of Jesse Kaufman. He is Amish by culture and by language. He has an amazing story. And so being able to help him, and then now 5 years later, he is leading a community to do the same, help them. And so we are duplicating and scaling. They run that community and they do an amazing job. Amazing people there to love and support you through learning the skills and the process of how to be married and have a successful marriage. So start there. And then when you graduate, you can, again, we'll still help you and support you. We still work the matchmaking side of it as well. That's where we always work with you, and we plug you into that community. If you did work with us through the matchmaking process, and then when you get engaged, then you join Epic Your Life community, and that actually is more designed for couples. Singles are in there too as well, but it's more designed for couples, and that's on the school platform as well. Sam Ovens and Alex Hermosi, Alex and Layla Hermosi, and Sam Ovens are founders and owners of that community. It's really a powerful community. Um, so, anyways, one of the fastest and largest growing educational platforms in the world, school.com with a K, SKOOL. So, anyways, there you go. Little commercial, just because of the fact that you asked. So, some of you are asking on here. And yeah, thanks, Jesse. But we'll pop this up. Do I have to be Amish? That was the question. And to the answer to your question, no. Here's the link. You can click on and join the or join Single to Married. Um, and thanks for being here. Oh, thanks. Oh, I'm so handsome. Thank you. That's funny. All right. I see a question here. And I always tell you on this Amish Matchmaker, this is men's edition, how to find love, keep it, and make it epic. And we help not just Amish, but we help English and Americans, Mexicans, blacks, Hispanic, whatever, whatever faith, whatever religion, whatever race, color you are, we're glad to help you and bless you and be a part of your life if you'll let us. And we'd love to teach you skills. But it starts with liking and subscribing to our channel here on YouTube, the Amish Matchmakers. Because again, we bring content, and the more people that like and subscribe, the more our message gets out there. And we're glad to give it away. So I'm going to address this question. Jesse, thanks for being here. But this question was toxic work environment, 13 years. I need insurance for my wife's bad health. And I'm suffering mentally. What should I do? So, first of all, I hope you have a great support group around you. If you don't, I hope that you would grab a hold of some of these communities around here, a local church community, or we have an online community at Epic Your Life. And again, it's investment to be a part of those communities that we have. They're subscription based, or just even love and support here on social media. Hopefully, there are good people that would love and support you because you're worthy of that, having that love and support. Because it's not easy when you are facing, you know, bad health and suffering mentally, and it's not easy. So, what should you do? I would first, hopefully, like I said, you have support around you. Um, and I am addressing this Nate guy. Not sure what your real name is, but hopefully that's close enough. And you know who you are on YouTube. But again, making sure you have support around you and love and support. And then also, again, a peer support group, friends, family that could come around, come alongside you and just help you to know that you can do it, right? Give you confidence and love in the things that you're doing. And so that's step one. Step two, I would also encourage you to connect with Papa. When I say Papa, I mean Father. Yeshua, Jesus, as you may say, when he was here on planet Earth, and the Bible talks about when the disciples asked Jesus, "How should we pray?" He was very, very intentional and specific, and he said, "Our Father." He started the prayer with, well, if you're going to pray, you should say, "Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name." So again, he gives honor, but the key word is Father there. He didn't say our God or God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I'm not saying he never said that, but I'm saying that he was very specific to address him as Father. And so I just want to encourage you how important it is to connect with Father, connect with Papa, Abba, Father God, the God of Jacob, Isaac, and Israel. And that, but knowing him as a father is really good and important and vital. It really is. I can't say that enough. And how do you get to know him as a father? Well, there's a great example through Jesus. If you study the word, study the Bible, you will learn about Jesus. And Jesus will help you to learn about the Father. And he constantly points us to the Father throughout his life on earth. Jesus said to know him as a father, to love and be loved from a father. And so it's very important. And that's what I would say too, with when you're struggling with all these things in your mind and even your wife's health, that is not easy. And things that you're facing, toxic things at work. I just want to encourage you that, and you've been there 13 years. I want to encourage you that I get it. You're still going to work. You're still showing up, probably for the sake of your wife, especially if she's got health issues, for the insurance you said. Um, but you are suffering mentally because of probably the things that are taking place there. I want to encourage you to connect with, again, like local support, someone around you that could support you, plug into. Number two is support from a good father. And when I say father, I'm talking about God. Father God, Papa, Abba, as I love to address him. And how do you get to know him as a father? Well, do you know Jesus? Do you know the Messiah, Yeshua, HaMashiach, Jesus the Messiah? Because that's what I believe will give you access to the Father through the Messiah. And knowing the Messiah, by example, he will lead you to the Father, a good father, not just any father. Cheers if you got coffee. And this is critical. For me, this is vital in the foundation of finding love and keeping love and making it epic, as it involves in marriage, is our relationship with the Father. And I don't even know if he's still here. The guy that I was talking to and addressing, that was talking about toxic environment at work and what to do, and lots of comments now. Interesting. It's good. Glad you're here. Glad you're here, y'all. All your comments on YouTube, it's hilarious, but it does create more views. Would you like and subscribe too as well, and hit the notification bell? That'd be great. So we are talking about talking to a gentleman. I don't know if he's still here, that does struggle with mental issues, and I get it. It's real. I too have struggled with that in the past. Had I when I went through my divorce, I was homeless, suicidal, and very depressed, very, very depressed during that time. A very dark time. So I get it. And I want to tell you that there is hope. There is hope in a father that loves you and wants to support you through it all. We have a process called Epic 30. And I would encourage you to do that process where you're connecting with the Father and knowing Him as a Father through the process, and writing. It's cool because you write out letter by journaling and write a letter to the Father. Even we believe this is the best way. You can do it in 10, 15 minutes. Spend a few minutes writing a letter to the Father, then spend a few minutes receiving a letter through random Bible search on your phone. Literally typing in random Bible and it'll come up search.org, and you click on it and it will give you a random verse. And it's amazing how what you just wrote down, that letter to the Father, through that random Bible search, he will answer you and he will love you well, and you'll be like, amazing. Like I'm telling you, thousands and thousands of times and thousands of people over the year I've introduced this process to, and just tears, shedding tears, and really emotional about feeling the love of a father that would address the things you just wrote about and your concerns. So having that support and comfort from the Father is really, really amazing. And then what we do is, once we get that random Bible verse, well, then we'll take and write a letter back to ourselves. I'll literally put, "Dear Carlos, my precious son," and then I'll write the verse that I get. I'll write out what it means to me and write a letter back to myself. And then we write out what's called GWs, gratitudes and worthies for Father, self, others. And then so with my family every morning, I'll be doing that in about 30 minutes. I'll get with my wife at 6:15 with Chantel and Hazel, my daughter that's still at home, who is with child. Miss Hazel Rose has Miss Kalea, little Kalea inside of her, growing. Our little granddaughter is growing inside of Hazel. She is with child and pregnant. We're super proud of her and blessed that she is with child, and super grateful to be a grandparent. And so, anyways, we do that process every morning with my wife, Hazel, our daughter, and little Kalea, even inside the womb of Hazel, we speak over that baby, that child inside the womb, even. Very important from conception to start speaking to the womb. I believe that with all my heart. Seriously, they can hear us, they can feel the energy, they can feel the love. Remember, we help people get founded, a legacy founded and rooted in faith, freedom, and above all else, love. And so, what does that look like? Our Epic 30 is literally doing letter to Father, getting a letter back through random Bible search, and then doing GWs, gratitudes and worthies. We write out gratitude, what we're grateful for about the Father, what Father is worthy of, then what I'm grateful for about myself, and then what I'm worthy of, and then what I'm grateful for about my wife and what she is worthy of, and then what I'm grateful for about my daughter and what she is worthy of, and then what I'm grateful for about my granddaughter and what she is worthy of. Okay, do you see what I mean? The flow. So it takes literally could take about 20 to 30 minutes. That's why it's called Epic 30. But we've done it in 30 minutes easily, and even press play on our content, which is called Connection DNA. Now I'm again still addressing that question of what to do. It starts with our mind, because to master your mind and master your emotions and master the emotions that always come up, and to have self-discipline and self-control is to master your mind and master your emotions, your thoughts. Thoughts become things, which become emotions that create our actions, and create results. Actions always create results. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they can be negative and bad. So I want to encourage you to start with your thoughts, and start. The thoughts can be created through this process, beneficial thoughts of a loving Father that wants to connect with you, and then loving others. So we call it, again, it's always in pairs of three. We release so that we can receive from the Father, and then we give. Release, release, receive, and then give. Make sense? See, there's even hand motions. Release to let go, receive, and then we give to others. So hopefully this is helpful to you, even those who are watching that first time you plugged into this channel, and learning. That is step one always, is connection to the Father and knowing him as Father, and feeling and loved and supported. It's really important. So I just want to encourage you, if you can relate to that person, whoever was messaging me on here, and the struggles they've gone through, you too can need to be supported, and find a local church, even a ministry that supports and loves people, and go to that and be a part of that locally, because I do believe in person is important for connections, really important. um yeah, and I'm grateful to be a part of a church here in Social Circle called The Grove, and Nathan is the pastor. He and his wife do an incredible job of loving that church people well, the congregation well, and had lunch with him yesterday. Very, very humble, kind, and very powerful man, in the sense of how he loves people so well and gives. So we're going to be working with him on our widows program, our widows handyman stuff, where we give back to the community every other Friday. So he's going to create a list for me of people that are in need in Social Circle that we can go and serve and bless. So super excited. This stuff is happening, and we'll start that next Friday, where we donate as a company. We'll pay our team to go out. We're growing our team right now, man. It's crazy. Been interviewing and hiring new people, because that's first step, right? We create the foundation, the people who can help us. Help us to run and organize the company, and then we are able to then get out and meet the people, meet the clients, and work with the clients. So, cheers. Pause now. Look at some of these comments. Amish Matchmaker comments. You say Jesus loves you. Oh, that's a kind one. Let's put that one on there. Become stronger and crush your enemies. Funny. Super glue their car locks. Okay, whatever. Master the force. I thought Amish couldn't use technology. Ah, see, funny. That's fine. Like, subscribe, and check it out, and you'll learn our story of how we became known as the Amish Matchmakers. Matter of fact, there is a potential for a reality TV series that might come out. There's a production company that came to follow us around on a couple of our weddings. So we'll see if it comes out this year. Looks like they're working on it. So, all right. so they can. Oh, okay, my goodness, lots of cool comments. Thanks for being here, though. All right, is God a good communicator? Is God a good communicator? Oh, yes, for sure. There you go. I'll put that comment up. So many comments. So thanks for commenting. Thanks for being here. It does, create a buzz on YouTube. That's cool. And Facebook. Thank you for your comments as well. Those of you that are there. And as you jump on, if you're new to this channel, would you say hello and where you're jumping on from? Appreciate it. We are the Amish Matchmakers. All right. So now let's talk a little bit now, kind of just some side stories and a little bit about us, and you can be on this journey with us. This is completely live today. I am reading the comments. That's why I'm posting them on here. Sometimes we do post recordings for our lives just because, maybe I'm traveling or out of town or time zone is different. But today it's actually live. I am posting comments here as you are commenting. If they're good comments worth posting on our live feed here, I will do it. Um, Amish are some of the best woodworkers. You are correct. You are correct with that. I will post that because that is good. You're right. We have a lot of Amish that we work with, and they are some superior craftsmen. Amazing, amazing craftsmen and craftswomen. Like they know how to work, they know how to build things, and they work well with their hands, and they do amazing. They do excellent work. Let me put it that way. So. So everyone in their comments on YouTube and Facebook, thank you. Some of them are hilarious. If you guys are on YouTube, you can see these comments. If you're not, you should jump on YouTube and see some of these weird comments. Oh, anyways. So back to our topic now, and then I'll look at comments again. I pause once in a while, look at comments. But cheers. All right. So Amish Matchmakers, Love Edition. So let's talk about love again. This week, our topic it's always about love. But this week, we've been talking about how to find love. Where do I go to find love? Well, we always go back to the single to married community, and it's really good. And some of those pictures and things are that I showed at the beginning of this video were pictures that we have. I call it our results, the fruit of our hard work. It's good to see pictures of people and children that are born because of our influence and impact of bringing people together and helping them to get married. I think all of them, no, not all of them are Amish. Actually, it's just about right. I think there's about 10 people on there, and probably two of the couples are not Amish, and 8 of them are. But again, we love what we do, helping people, and so how do you find that though? Where do you go? We know that through our community, you can find people, find other singles through Jesse and Adina's community that we recommend, and we can refer you to that. That's a good start. But also, are you out there getting to know people? I find it fascinating that the Bible tells us, if you're a believer, and if you're not, probably will disregard this anyways, but it tells us to love your neighbor as yourself. And also it tells us to um it says, to seek after these things, these fruits, love and kindness and goodness and long suffering and disciplines and things, that are super good. But also it tells us to the biggest one is even to love your neighbor. Like, and it's interesting, what does love mean then? So if we're supposed to be out there loving our neighbor, and it doesn't say, by the way, I always have to address this, only love one person, your spouse or your children, and never love anybody else. No, it says love your neighbors yourself. But your closest neighbor obviously would be that you married, if you are married, or even your closest neighbor might be someone you live with, your parents, or maybe you live with a sibling or a friend or roommates. You have roommates, but again, that's the closest neighbor, right? They're in your household, and so that is a neighbor, by the way. So it's so interesting that God, through the Bible, he doesn't teach. He teaches to love your neighbor, but not to love. Um, it's interesting that he says neighbor. That's what I'm gonna say. Instead of like, okay, only love people that are nice to you. Only love. It's interesting. So what is love then? And if we're supposed to be loving people, We've talked about this. It's a matter of communicating, connecting with that person. Well, how do I do that? Eye contact, smile, get out there, go shopping and talk to people. We live in a world where everyone's doing this. They're on their phone and they're not looking at you. They're not even making eye contact. Matter of fact, I watch, and in most scenarios, it's like bad, deliberate, like this, right? Their heads down and they're looking at their phone. So now you're looking at the top of my head. I'm not even up like this. It's like this. Oh my goodness. And some situations, people wear hoodies, a lot of the younger generation. And by the way, shout out, I did an interview yesterday of a young man who is still a senior in high school. And it gave me renewed vim and vigor to work with the youth of our country. So excited for him. He is like hungry, wants to learn a trade, wants to work with us, wants to learn how to become a successful entrepreneur, but he knows he wants to have a skill and a trade in order to take that skill and trade to the world and be an entrepreneur and a business owner. And I said, well, have you ever heard of an employeepreneur? And he said, no. And I said, what do you think that is? And he says, is that an employee that treats his job like it's his own business? And I said, nailed it. And so again, my point in saying this is like just the youth oftentimes are head down and can't even see their face, their eyes. They got hoodie on and they're on their phones, not talking to people. They're doom scrolling. However, yesterday I met a young man that was very hungry, made great eye contact, did good communication, answered the questions well, kept giving me eye contact, would sit forward, nod, talk, and really did well. His parents have raised him well and helped him to have great communication skills. And he's done a lot to learn that and knocked on doors. Even he says, I'm not afraid to knock on doors and go door to door and learn how to talk to people and connect with people. So very, very powerful to see that. Why do I say that? Because there is hope. But a lot of times you see people on their phone not looking at each other, not communicating well, not connecting. And it is frustrating to see. And then I have to ask myself, am I doing that? I have to be conscientious of how I am connecting with others. But that's what I want to ask you first. If you're looking for love, you got to overcome the mind. We talked about that earlier this week. Second, you've got to be willing to make eye contact and smile and be friendly. Uh, you know, there's verses about calling God a friend and knowing him as a friend. Like, what does a friend look like then? How are you a friend to others? Are you loving your neighbor? What does love look like? What does it look like to help people to know and feel genuinely loved? Is to make eye contact, smile, nod your head, but then also to be able to um, ask good questions. We had our community mentorship yesterday and Q&A, and it's where our community on school, our Epic Your Life community, this community, beep, 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 we every week we'll jump on and they ask some questions. We had some really good questions yesterday, and questions that first of all, some of the things about relationship and connecting, how to find love. You've got to be a good communicator. What will make you a good communicator? Ask good questions. Now there is technology out there, and I will tell you, you can either learn from it and utilize it, or you can not, and that's okay if you have something against technology or you have something against AI and things. I get it. Of course, I understand there's a lot of concern. There was a lot of concern when television came out. There's a lot of concern when radios came out. There's a lot of concern when internet came out. Again, I get it. There's wisdom in everything that comes out. You either use it for good or for evil. It's real. So my point being is like, you can even go to AI and say, hey, I want to know some good questions to get to know someone. We teach this stuff and we give you the format inform, family, occupation, recreation, message. However, like you could get some creative questions. Hey, what are some good questions I can ask someone to get to know them about their family, get to know them and their family? What are good questions for the acronym form? And I bet AI would give you a bunch of them. But the point being is like, questions bring clarity. Questions create intimacy, communication, effective, good communication, and confidence. Encourage brings intimacy and connection and love and helps people to feel loved. If you ask questions, and by the way, effective communication is not asking a question and then going, oh, and then you talking. No. Effective communication is literally asking a question and then listening and genuinely being interested, making eye contact, smiling, nodding your head. Yeah, wow. And then saying this phrase, tell me more about that. Tell me more about that. Wow, that's interesting. Tell me more about that. Tell me more about that. Do you hear me? How to find love is to be friendly. A couple days ago when I was speaking, when I didn't sleep in and oversleep on Tuesday, I overslept yesterday. Yep, I'm human. I'm real. I did. And there was no Amish Matchmaker love talk yesterday. So on Tuesday, though, on Monday and Tuesday, we were talking about this, and people were saying, well, one guy was like, hey, I go to college and I'm not there. I know the women there aren't there to find their husband. Da, da, da. So I respect that. I'm like, okay, are you their friend, though? Are you connecting with them and being a friend to them? Like, and do you know how to be a friend? And again, when we were talking and they were responding here back and forth, and I love the interaction, by the way, he was saying that, hey, I'm sure it's a confidence issue because that's what we deal with. Okay. We help people through the lack of confidence and help them be more courageous. And yesterday, it came up in our community Q&A, when someone is asking, is talking to you or calling you a certain thing. Yeah, I'll just say in this situation, a gal and a guy and a gal were getting to know each other in our community, and she was asking me, how should I feel if a guy tells me that I remind him of his mother, and his mother's passed away, and again, and she just left it at that. But her initial thought is, well, I don't want to be known as his mother or even remind him of his mother because I don't want to be a mother. I want to be someday a good wife, right, to someone, and that's part of the connection, the matchmaking, right? And so, but I said, wait a second, you don't understand what that means to him. To you, that might mean, oh, you don't want to be a motherly figure. You want to be a friend and a wife someday, not a mother, right? I get it, and that is true, and that's important. We talk about that. No woman wants to necessarily be a man's mother. She wants to be a man's wife and best friend and lover and soulmate and have adventures together and best friend, but not mother. However, I said the one thing that I said is, are you willing to ask questions to gain clarity? And oftentimes, when you're facing situations in life, there's rumors and gossip and junk going out there. Are you willing to ask questions to get the truth and get clarity? Or are you just going to keep talking and believing without going to the source of what you heard about that person? It's common, very common in life and in business and in relationships and in connections and in church and in communities. This thing called talk happens, and people, instead of just going to the source and trust, you can trust the person that maybe told you, but going to the source and verifying the truth, they believe it or they get influenced by it or they have seeds planted in them, and then they see Carlos, I'm Carlos, and they have fear and doubt about Carlos because, oh, I heard something about Carlos. Okay. Point being is that's rumor stuff, but then also in relationship, and you're getting to know someone, you got to learn to ask good questions. Our previous company, it's actually still our mother company, our umbrella company, Peculiar Sanctuary. The word peculiar, nobody knows how to spell it. I know, I get it. That's why Epic is our new brand, Epic Your Life instead of Peculiar, because everyone can spell Epic. But the P in peculiar was a question mark. I have learned how to ask questions, and I keep learning how to ask better questions. Better questions create better answers. And by the way, you're always asking yourself questions. Why did I do that? Why are you such a stupid idiot? What's wrong with you, Carlos? Like that used to be my self-negative talk, asking questions about why I'm so dumb. Why would I do something so stupid? What's wrong with you, Carlos? Like I used to ask really bad questions of myself. And what's interesting is yourself will answer with, yeah, you're so stupid. What's wrong with you? You're such an idiot. When you're asking negative questions versus what can I learn from this? What is the intention of that person, or what questions can I ask them to gain clarity? What can I learn new about this person in this situation? What is What does God want to be for me? What does Father want to be for me that he couldn't be before this situation came up? So many cool questions you can ask. But literally, you never lose when you fail at something, even in relationships or connection or communication with someone. You never lose. You only learn. If you can gain that as a principle and a life's like understanding, you're going to be more powerful than you know. So, what can I learn from this situation and gain new wisdom and new understanding? So, ask questions to gain understanding and ask yourself better questions. Are you following me? Stop asking yourself negative questions or why are you so stupid? What's wrong with you? Well, you're such an idiot. Like I remember that self-talk. It is no fun. It's toxic. It'll snowball into depression. It'll snowball into addictions that are the medication and things that you have to take in order to cope with life, right? And negative or debilitating addictions and habits you utilize to cope, because again I do believe and understand that we all need coping mechanisms, but they can be things that are beneficial. They can exercise, even the connection and love and affection with the father, and a habit and activities like journaling and learning more about the father, learning more about the Bible and the word, worship, dance and exercise and even learning self-defense. And yeah, there's lots of cool things that you can do in order to cope and in a sense medicate, but it's good medicine, beneficial medicine, right? Versus like binge eating and alcohol and drugs. And yeah, it's so interesting how all these different things, porn, can affect our lives if we're medicating with things that bring death and destruction and dishonor others. So, how did I get to this place? Because we're talking about good, effective communication is asking questions. Bringing it all the way back to the point of my talk right now. All right, pause, coffee, drink. Cheers. And where are you joining us from? And I'm going to look through the comments again. All right, says good luck with the channel. You seem like a good dude. See ya. Hey, thanks. Hopefully you liked and subscribed and hit the notification bell on our channel. Thanks for that, wherever you are. Jay Stone. Let's see. Boy, there's quite a few comments. Thanks for the comments. What do Amish think? Okay, we're not gonna put that one. Oh, Rumspringer is in a period of adolescence when Amish youth are allowed. Oh, okay, cool. Here we go. He said allowed more freedom before deciding whether to be baptized into the Amish church. Okay, somebody knows some things about the Amish. This is where I find Amish women. My brother's dating an ex Amish. Interesting that term flies around. I get it. Let's see. Working at work and nine depends upon the Amish communities. Some have limited use of technology. The Beachy Amish have cars, phones, and electricity. The Swartzen Trooper Amish don't have any technology. Buggy Amish, different. So Amish are, truly, if you say someone's Amish, it's because it's their culture and the language, right? It is interesting, and I've recognized that. All right, let's see. Scammers. Okay, cool. All right, stop snitching, you bum. Did you grow up Amish? No, I did not. Not any kind of connection to the Amish except for association that got started originally actually through the Danny Johnson community. Danny Johnson, Danny and Hans Johnson. She used to be a speaker, trainer, and success coach from First Steps to Success. That's where I originally met and realized what Amish were. I didn't even know what they were or existed. I had no clue. And so in about 2011, I started going to Danny Johnson events and I was exposed to that culture and was like, oh, okay. But fair enough, I was raised in a small town and I actually didn't, to be honest with you, I didn't even realize there was different I know this sounds terrible. Different Asians, like I didn't know the difference between Chinese, Vietnamese, Japanese, and Thai. Thai people, like I didn't know those were all different. I just thought everyone that was Asian was Asian. I know it's terrible, but that's how naive I was growing up in a small town. Um, and I've gotten out to learn and gain new wisdom and gain new understanding. So, a matter of fact, going to California was a great eye opener. Some of my favorite food, Thai, Cambodian, even. Oh, Cambodian food. One of the largest Cambodian communities outside of Cambodia is in Long Beach, and so I have some friends there in Long Beach. Bon Pen is a restaurant there in Long Beach that is Cambodian restaurant. Love it. It's good food. It's all a lot of soups in Cambodia. They eat soup for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's really interesting. But anyways, um, point being is that's how naive I was. I didn't even know about Amish till an adult, going to Danny Johnson events and being like, oh, that's Amish people, Mennonite people. What is this all about? And seeing them with their head coverings and their dresses and suspenders for some of the men and the hats. And again, I was familiar with head coverings, but had nothing to do with Amish. Had to do with Christian faith and religion of people who wore head coverings, women who wore head coverings, and I'd learned about Jewish men wearing head coverings, kippas and stuff. And so again, this is my first going in about 2011, my first exposure to the Amish culture. But then fast forward, getting to know them, and then in 2020, meeting and helping Jesse Kaufman to get engaged and married. We officiated his wedding right here in our ranch home in Georgia, and where we hold epic intensive events. We got one coming up January 29th, by the way. Shout out if anybody's interested in that. It'll be here on our ranch here in Georgia. It's going to be awesome. It goes from Thursday the 29th and it will end on February 1st. We bumped it back a little bit in January just because we had a lot of things going on, events, and starting this new company. So, anyways, point being is like, um, Mr. Jesse Kaufman. We helped him and Adina to get married and walk them through that matchmaking process. And he is Amish by culture. Um, and It is awesome to work with Jesse. And back then and even now, we still work together, partners, and I'm blessed to know the man. He's one of my dearest friends. But again, connecting with him, helping him, then it just spread like wildfire. He joined us in the journey of helping singles, and then he and Irina now have taken on that, and we now work more with couples. We still help singles. That's why we're known as the Amish Matchmakers. But again, it snowballed to where in the last 5 years since 2020, including Jesse and Adina, we've helped over 30 couples come together, and most of them have been previously Amish. So over 60 people. But again, we've helped thousands. Literally, we started doing the count and numbers to have better results in their lives, in relationship and connection and communication, because of because of our skills of teaching others. Excuse me, because of our YouTube channel, our Facebook page, social media. We've hosted many events, many, yeah, on and on and on. And so again, lots of webinars and lots of trainings. And we had fast track to marriage for a little while. Now it's known as single to married, and helping people to get those skills. And then Jesse and Adina now have taken on that baton, and we still support them. We still help mentor the singles. That's the reputation of Amish Matchmakers. And like I said, the reputation comes because most of our clients, 80% of them, are from the Amish or Mennonite culture, Anabaptist background. They all come from Anabaptist, the Amish and Mennonite. So there you go. Was not born and raised. Matter of fact, I've had some people that we've helped say, if you were raised Amish or had, that in your lineage or your background, I wouldn't work with you. Because again, they want sometimes to get that culture can, in some ways, be very high controlling religion when it comes to the religious side of things. So again, we help with faith, freedom, and love, above all else, love. So, all right. Okay, coming back now. I need help right now. Okay, alcoholism give me a problem right now, and I need to be conscious and contact with God. All right, cool. I see you. and love to have you learn about Epic 30. You can actually go to our our website, epicyourlife.com. See this up here? Go to that, epicyourlife.com, and for free, you can see our Epic 30 process instructions there. Download the e-workbook and utilize it. Being a productive member of society, I get it. If you're being serious here, I totally understand. I too have dealt with addictions that were not beneficial, that were harmful. That's a whole nother time for a whole different story. But I feel you and I understand. And I would also invite you. One of the things, if you're local in your local area, is look up to see if there's any Celebrate recoveries around you. It's a good program for helping people through harmful addictions. Okay. What do you think about Native Americans? I wonder. Okay. Ultimately, Amish, Jesse, here we go, is one of either and or doctrinal and or birth as a culture. Okay. That's Jesse, my bro. Was the originator of the Amish Matchmakers understanding or of our reputation, fighting the disease of alcoholism right now. Okay, I don't know anything about Amish. I'm from New York, but open to learning. Hey, that's cool. Good, Amanda. Good on you. Is the Amish mafia a real thing? Nah, I'll post that. That's a funny comment. I don't know. Hey, all my Amish brothers and sisters, comment on that. You tell him. Are Amish good to their animals like their horses? Hey, it's like any other culture, any other people. Some are good, some are bad. Some love them well. I've had the opportunity to see and meet with people are Amish that absolutely love and adore their animals and take great. And I've seen some that, again, aren't probably the best, aren't necessarily uh, the kindest to their animals. So yes, the Amish feed their horses. What? Okay, yes, they do. You're right. Okay, I'm a real animal person. Good. Yes, not just about feeding them. You're right. It's about loving them. I have animals. We love our animals so much here on our ranch. My wife and I feel responsible, actually, very responsible, like based on creation, that God gave us the responsibility of our animals to take care of them and be good to our animals and love them well. So we love that. Is there a lot of murderers in the Amish community? Interesting question. Yes, they care about them. This is a good conversation on here. Look at this. I know an electric eel. What the heck? Good morning. There we go, Miss Sheila. Good morning, Sheila. The only Amish I know are in Pennsylvania, not far from me. Oh, so you're in Pennsylvania area. Well, welcome. They're all over the United States. They are, but she is right, or he is right, whoever that is. That in Pennsylvania, Indiana, and Ohio, there is a definite like little area there, pocket where there are a lot of Michigan, a lot of Amish for sure. That's where a lot of our clientele are actually. If this guy is really Amish, then he's like the smartest Amish person I've ever heard. I answered that question already. We're known as the Amish Matchmakers, but my wife and I are not Amish. I'm half Mexican and a quarter Norwegian. My mom's half Norwegian. So my wife says, "You're a Mexican Viking." And my wife, Chantel, is full blooded German. Both her parents came from Germany and came here to America for their honeymoon and stayed after their honeymoon and raised a family here, built a business here. Chantel, my beautiful wife, is German, and I am half Mexican and a quarter Norwegian. So, I'm Viking. What was I going to say? Now I'm off topic here. So you say if this guy is Amish, that's hilarious. All right. So, anyways, I'm not Amish at all. but we love the Amish people. We love our reputation, and getting the opportunity and the blessing to work with the Amish is really awesome. So again, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell on our YouTube channel, so that when we create content and when we come live like this, so you'll get to see it. We are on a journey of developing our land, developing. We do real estate development. My wife and I, we are entrepreneurs. We purchase in companies, and yeah, we're going to be working on some real estate. We wanted to start doing some flips, buying old houses and restoring them, and then utilizing them for rent or for sale. So we got a lot of things we're working on, my wife and I, and we love what we do. But our main thing is yeah, loving and blessing people and their businesses and legacy and their marriages and relationships. That's why we have this YouTube channel. So let's see. I didn't know the difference between Asians, and I wouldn't say he's that smart. You're right. I'm not that smart. I agree with this guy. I just continue to learn, continue to grow, and I'm going to share with you what I'm learning and what I'm gaining wisdom and understanding in. And guess what? My famous saying is, and this is because it's true: the more I learn, the less I know. It really is true. The more I learn, the less I know. And so I just keep learning, and I realize, man, I don't know anything. So you're right. All right. Let's see. He speaks eloquently. I guess it's funny to see these conversations going on. It says, I do Zoom meetings online, but I can't make in-person meetings. Okay. Does that mean you do Zoom meetings with, are you talking about Celebrate Recovery? Is that still the conversation you're having? Because I'm catching up here. Jesse says the Amish Mafia movie is fake, fictional. There's probably a 2% truth to it. Maybe there were some, historically, maybe some guys that were doing that, but again, it's good Hollywood stuff, right? I bought a horse from an Amish family. Hey, that is cool. Random. Jesse, most Amish are kind and gentle with their animals, and yes, there are some cruel exceptions. All right. If I want to become Amish, how would I begin that journey? Interesting. Wow. Interesting. Do you believe in God? Did you just show up? I've been talking about God this whole time, but okay. There is only one. Okay. Sheila's getting a kick out of all these comments. Me too. There has been one or two. Jesse is addressing all these questions. Good job, Jesse. That was some great conversation with all these people asking about Amish. I live between two large Amish communities in Ohio. Okay, fun fact. Yes, Jesus Christ. Jesus is a Jew. I agree. Yep. Shout out to, okay, I don't know who that is. From the river to the sea. You did a book report in school about him? About who? Jesus? I'm sorry. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Amanda, is that who if that's your real name? As meetings, yes. Oh, okay. All right. So meetings. Hopefully you can get out in person sometime. It's good to be in connection with people in person. All right. Well, look, I've been here over an hour. I've got to get out there and connect with my family. It's time for us to do our Epic 30. I'll be back in about probably 20, 30 minutes with my wife, Chantel, and get her version of this and her take on connection and love and where to find love and affection and, you know, how to find love and the how and where is really powerful, but it takes you being willing to ask questions. That's the big thing. And so I want to get her take on that, how important questions are to get to know someone and get a woman's perspective. It's always cool to balance that out with my wife, and she's brilliant. You think I'm smart? Well, I'll tell you that woman is super intelligent. You're going to get to hear from her in about 30 to 45 minutes. Just again, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. When we come back on, you'll get that notification. So, like oh, okay. There you go. Thank you. I actually didn't know that. But see, I haven't studied Vikings very much. The most famous Viking to ever live. All right, Leif Erikson. Thanks. That's cool. Good to know. Google that. All right, I will. All right, I'll check it out. Leif Erikson. Okay. Well, since I'm a quarter Norwegian Viking man, I should check that out, right? Well, have a great day. God bless you, and we'll see you back here in a little bit. I gotta get with my family, and we'll see you soon. Thanks for all of you that were here supporting, commenting, and communicating. Hope this was fun for you. I hope to gain a little bit of some wisdom or knowledge. And I'm going to keep giving and keep blessing. We are the Amish Matchmakers. We help singles to find godly spouses, create epic marriages through marriage mastery, and then, you know what? Create a beautiful legacy that is rooted in faith, freedom, and above all else, love. So thanks for being here. And yeah, thanks, Phyllis. And Phyllis, you got my back. You do this research and let me know. Love you guys.